Come to Helmuth Ford, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Hi, this is Stacy from Shuttler Insurance Services. Come see me on the east side of the square in Sigourney for all your insurance needs.
Keokuk County Economic Development presents the 10 Grand Gala, Friday, November 14th at the Keokuk County Expo in Sigourney. Join us for a night of casino-themed fun, food, drinks, prizes, and a chance to win $10,000. Friday, November 14th at the Keokuk County Expo in Sigourney. For more information and tickets, contact Keokuk County Economic Development at 112 East Washington Street in Sigourney. Call 641-622-2288 or go to kcediowa.org.
Delta Fire and Rescue presents their annual haunted house every Friday and Saturday in October. The haunted house is located at the Delta, Iowa Fire Station, 103 North 2nd Street in Delta. Doors open from 8 p.m. to midnight. Tickets are $15. Food and drinks are available to purchase. It's the Delta Fire and Rescue Haunted House. Come and be scared, if you dare.
It's time now for the Tuesday Night Tune-Up. We are live at the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch in Oskaloosa. I have all sorts of music playing right now. We do thank all of our sponsors, including Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch, for being our host venue all season long here on the Tuesday Night Tune-Up. We also thank Sigourney Motors, Copeland Auto Body, as well as Sinclair Napa, Skunk River Radio, Nutrien Ag Solutions, James Family Greenhouse, and Sigourney Body Shop. Let's take it to Safe and Gordy, who are standing by and or sitting by. Guys, take it away.
Hey, welcome back, race fans, to TNT, the Tuesday Night Tune-Up. And we want to thank you all for joining us this whole entire season here. Thank you to the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch and all of our wonderful sponsors for a great year. And it's time to talk a little bit about Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch. And I have Gordy here with me again tonight. Gordy, thanks for coming back on the show here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's been a lot of fun having you on here a few different times, either talking, 1RC stuff or just, you getting to be a co-host here and we get to talk racing for a while. So it's been a lot of fun having you on here.
Yeah, thanks. It's been fun being here.
Absolutely. And again, we want to thank the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch, and they have some of their November specials here now as we are getting close, and on a very special day coming up here at the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch, November 11th. All veterans get to eat free here at the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch that day. And another great thing that they do here at the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch. So that's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
It's a good salute to the veterans. And they also have a deal right now that if you buy $50 in gift cards, you get $10 free. And then also out of each and every single gift card, $1 is going to go back to the USO Foundation, which has to do with military and veterans like that. So they're really stepping up their game at Pizza Ranch. It seems to, help those men and women that have served this country.
Yeah, that's a good deal. Getting to be that time of the season, too. Flip the calendar here. We're into November and into Christmas time. So what a better gift than pizza.
Absolutely. And again, don't forget they have their $9.99 large one-topping pizzas as well here at the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch. And tonight is Kids Night. Yes, kids 12 and under eat free each and every Tuesday night at the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch. We're going to take a quick commercial break to hear from our sponsors, and we will be right back here talking some racing action in just a few minutes.
When you need a break, Pizza Ranch is ready. Rough day or good day, sometimes you just need a buffet. And we've got all your favorites always ready to serve. Come to the place that puts a smile on your face. Make it a buffet day at Pizza Ranch.
Hi, I'm Krista Sellers, driver of the 7K Figure 8 race truck. I race at local figure 8 tracks across southern Iowa. One of my good sponsors is CJ at Sigourney Motors. Next time you or someone you know is looking for a good used vehicle or in need of some minor repairs, you can contact CJ at Sigourney Motors. Give them a call at 641-224-8056 or stop by 705 East Jackson Street in Sigourney, Iowa. Hope to see you at the races or at CJ's shop.
At Copeland Auto Body, we strive to be the area's consistent provider of advanced collision repair. We want all of our customers to have a stress-free experience when they bring their car to Copeland Auto Body. Give them a call at 641-653-2140. Find them online at CopelandAutoBody.com. Copeland Auto Body, located in Hedrick, Copeland Collision Center in Oskaloosa, and Copeland Towing and Recovery in Sigourney. For auto body and towing for Hedrick, Oskaloosa, and Sigourney, see Copeland Auto Body. Got a problem under the hood? At Sinclair Napa, we're here to help. No matter if you're tuning up the family car, gearing up your heavy-duty truck, or maintaining your boat, we have the know-how you need to keep your ride running strong. Whether it's top-notch parts, expert advice, or unbeatable customer service, Sinclair Napa is your one-stop shop for all your automotive needs. Because at Sinclair Napa, we don't just sell parts, we're here to help you get the job done. Stop by today in Sigourney, Montezuma, Williamsburg, Centerville, or Ottumwa, or visit us at SinclairNapa.com. And we're back at the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch for Tuesday night tune-up. We do thank, again, all of our sponsors: Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch, Sigourney Motors, Copeland Auto Body, Sinclair Napa, Skunk River Radio, Nutrien Ag Solutions, James Family Greenhouse, and Sigourney Body Shop. Let's go back to Safe and Gordy, guys.
Welcome back, race fans, to TNT, the Tuesday night tune-up. And again, racing is starting to wind down around here. And over the weekend, the Harvest Hustle happened up at Marshalltown Speedway, and over 240 cars were at Motown for the two-day event. And what a crowd they had! What a lot of cars too, huh?
Yeah, a lot of cars. First time I've ever seen them pitted off at turns 1 and 2. They had so many cars up there.
Yeah, I mean, I've been up there for some of their bigger races, but that's by far some of the most that I've heard numbers-wise at Marshalltown, and some great racing all weekend up there. That's a great, two-day event. Van Wall really stepped up and donated some combines, and then they got them sent off and wrapped for the winners, and those looked pretty awesome. Yeah,
good tribute to Carl Moyer.
Yeah.
Carl's done a lot for the racing community and all he's done, so big thanks to Carl and the family over the years, and remember him racing dirt trucks at Des Moines on Friday night.
Yeah.
So, good tribute there.
Absolutely, and racing is starting to wind down everywhere. The Outlaws have been rained out recently, so they're getting ready for the World Finals at Charlotte, which is coming up next week, which is crazy that we're that close to World Finals already. And again, some of those points battles, not for first, but for kind of second on back, are really up for grabs with these rainouts. They're still close. Some things could happen here yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with as many days they race in Charlotte, there's a lot of opportunity for guys to make some moves, and probably for Buddy Kofoid to win some more money.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's been kind of the money man here lately. All year he's one of the highest purse grabbers for either of the series, and then out of all the drivers, he is one of the highest as well. So it's going to be an interesting ending to the season, and then it's going to be interesting to see, honestly, what the Roth Motorsports team does next year. There has been a lot of speculation of them becoming one of the franchise teams for High Limits, because a lot of the races that they sponsor and help out with have gone to be high limit events, and I think a lot of these owners are seeing Brad, since he decided to quit racing, they're seeing how serious he's taking this now, and I think you're going to see more. I mean, we kind of saw a tweet and then a Facebook post from David Gravel, congratulating Rico, and then kind of saying, it'd be cool if you and I battled for a points championship again. So, David kind of did something like that last year, and then we saw him stick with the Outlaws. Mm-hmm. But this time it might be serious, because I think a lot of people have their eyes on that Todd Queering team and saying, they stay with the, Outlaws because it's easy pickings for them to pick up another championship and yada, yada, yada. So it's going to be interesting to see what Todd Queering and the Big Game Motorsports team does next year as well.
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's only been a few of them commit to World of Outlaws right now. So yeah, it'd be kind of interesting to see what shakes down over the winter.
Yeah, I mean, really, if you look at, I'd say really the top 6 teams in the Outlaws could kind of go either way next year. I mean, Big Game, Jason Johnson Racing, Roth Motorsports. It's going to be interesting. I mean, you've already seen, the 5-car and the 9 now, which is going to be ran by Dason Pursley.
Yeah.
As Casey Kane Racing announced earlier last week and this week that Dason was going to be their man in the 9 now. And then you have Rico, Justin Peck, and Tanner Thorson all committed right now to the High Limit Series, and all you have is Cole Macedo, and then the new driver of the NOS energy drink Stenhouse Marshall racing car is Spencer Baston. So, and to me, it's interesting that Spencer went to the 17 team. I don't know about that one.
I was maybe thinking some others.
I had a few other people on the radar for that, and that was not someone I had on a radar for that, honestly.
Yeah, not I either.
I'd like to see what happens to Ryan Tim still. I know that he said that his intentions were to race for Denny Lieberg again next year, but I could see him being someone that if the right opportunity came along, I think Denny would understand. I would hope, and I could see him maybe being one of those guys to go to a franchise team, with the High Limits next year. I mean, if I were a car owner, I would want him right now. I mean, he's been getting seat time, and he showed that last year when he ran at Knoxville, he got progressively better. Kind of goes out and wins the Knoxville Nationals, then he wins a few other big races, and he's having a really good year. And even if you look at when he wasn't winning, he was still a top 5 car about everywhere he's gone. He really hasn't wrecked a whole lot of equipment. You haven't seen, 2 years ago, if you told me that Ryan Timms was going to win the Knoxville Nationals, I would have said, yeah, right. I think he's someone now where he's really developed as a driver quite well.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to become one of those names that we hear for a long time to come, hopefully.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, being young and with that much talent, and now I think he's just finally getting the car underneath of him and able to make the right adjustments and make it even go faster. So
yeah, so for me, the interesting thing is going to see what happens with Jason Myers Racing next year, since Corey Day announced that he'll be running in the Xfinity Series full-time for Hendrick next year. That's going to take away a lot of his racing opportunity. So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited to see who Jason Myers Racing will announce for their full-time driver, because Jason will have a car out there full-time. I'm looking forward to see who it's going to be.
yeah,
I'm wondering if that's maybe a potential landing spot for Gio Scelzi.
sure.
Jason's, a California guy. Yep. He knows Gio. I think that could be a great matchup, honestly. I mean, Gio could get into some really good equipment. I mean, he had good equipment with KCP Racing. I just think that's a tough team to stay in for a long time. They seem to be one of those teams where they rotate drivers out a lot. So there's a lot of speculation, I think, on what's going to happen and who's going to go where.
Yeah, and Emerson Axum's out there too.
He is, yes.
A few days ago or weeks ago, he was running his own car, his 27. I would say that's his own car, and so yeah, these out there kind of looking, for a seat to fill also.
And Sheldon hasn't announced where he's going yet, and he'll have Kyle Ripper with him, as Kyle Pruitt has taken over now that Kyle Ripper's role at Stenhouse Marshall Racing, and they have a bunch of new guys as well, and they've already been able to pull off some wins. It'll just be interesting. There's a lot of silliness going on still.
Big silly season for sprint cars right now.
Yeah,
anyway.
absolutely. And, what's going to happen to Donnie Schatz next year still. He's with Sides right now, but that's not going to be – I don't see that being a permanent thing at all.
Right.
It
Yeah,
it leaves a lot. It leaves a lot to be desired.
And how many of them are just going to wind up racing over at Knoxville? I mean, that's
right.
I mean, that's kind of seems like, well, if you can't really go out and find a tour ride. You find a way to go run Knoxville and race over there. So there could be some potential for some of those drivers landing over there in some rides. So
absolutely. And then on the flip side, we talk about someone like Ricky Thornton Jr., who's getting into sprint car racing, and is this going to be his long-term thing, is getting into sprint car racing? It kind of seems like that's the path he's wanting to go. Honestly, he's hinted and talked about it for a while, and now he's running again for Bernie in the 71 car, and he moves to Indianola. He starts posting photos right away of him calling Knoxville kind of home track now. So is that something we start looking at? Is that something that's kind of, not people aren't putting on their radar, but maybe should be putting on their radar?
Yeah, I mean, he can wheel anything. Just got a top 5 out in non-wing out in Arizona over the weekend. Yeah. 2 top 5s, really.
Yeah.
4th and a 5th. And doesn't really drive non-wing sprint cars at all. But that's kind of his hometown track too.
Right.
So but still,
it's
they go out
interesting.
there. A non-wing sprint car is a totally different animal than anything you ever race around here, and go out there and just hop in that takes a lot of talent. I believe he's driving the 71 car at the World Finals.
He is, and the car's actually right now in North Carolina at Kohler Motorsports. It's the first time they've ever had a sprint car in their facility. I'm sure Jim and them are probably sitting there scratching their heads going, what do you want us to do with this thing?
Yeah, well, I seen a post the other night. They drove from Arizona like all night to get to the shop in Carolina to get a new or a fixed late model, repaired.
Yes.
So it'd be kind
it's
of
going to be interesting. There's a lot of what ifs and we don't knows yet.
Sure.
And again, PRI seems to be the time where we find out more what's going to happen in the motorsport world as far as drivers. And again, this list that I have in front of me will change. Speed Sport does a great job. Shout out to those guys. They're the ones that come up and start getting these rosters put together of who's going to what series. They have a little bit more insight knowledge, and they know kind of some things ahead of time, but it's great they make these lists because it's a good look of who's going to go where.
Yeah.
And it kind of paints that picture of what's happening in the dirt sprint car world because it's always changing, and high limits came in swinging, and we're starting to see that a big shift, I would say. 5 drivers signed up for high limits, only 2 for World of Outlaws right now.
Right. Yeah, big shift happening.
So I wonder what the World Racing Group is going to do differently next year. What can they honestly? What can they do at this point? You look at money. You look at. That's the problem is you look at the money and then you look at all the different things they have for the drivers for, like if you get a chassis or whatever. But then you look at high limits and what they're doing. It's like, okay, they're getting these great sponsors. Even Musco Lighting from here in Oskaloosa did a mid-season deal with them where it's most improved drivers. Mm-hmm. So if you were let's say 20th in standings and you got up to 10th in standings, or whoever showed the most progress throughout the year got $10,000 from Musco Lighting.
Sure. No, that's good for.
You don't see the Outlaws doing that.
Right. And, I kind of look for it to be like, Lucas Oil, World of Outlaw late models. I think there's going to be a little more majority of them go to the high limit series. But I still think there's going to be a 10, 15 car field there for that I would call like the Outlaw. That just, go to other tracks and fill in.
And that'll be interesting, though, because, and no disrespect by this, but is it going to be the high-quality...
Yeah, right.
Is it going to be the high-quality World of Outlaws? And I don't mean that necessarily in a bad way, but, right now the 2 we have is Spencer Basin, who I'm just going to go ahead and call as a loose cannon and a hothead. You don't know if he's going to race great or race horrible, and then you don't know if he's going to say... this team is great or I'm out of here.
Right.
And then you have Cole Macedo, who has probably one of the biggest chips on his shoulder, trying to live up to his brother Carson with those expectations. But racing for, Wayne Johnson, who Wayne has had a lot of years racing, and by far is not necessarily bad equipment, but it's kind of a different team and not necessarily has all of the funding and whatnot of these other teams. But, he's going into his second year full-time with a touring series. So then who else do we see to that list? Do we see Bill Baylog stay? Do we see any of the other 6 teams that I talked about earlier stay? I mean, it's going to be very interesting. And then, again, that brings up what caliber of World Outlaw drivers are going to be actually on the road traveling next year. Is it one where you're going to want to spend $45 a ticket to go and watch them?
Right.
There's a lot. The World Racing Group has put themselves in a very tough position, and their back's up against a wall, and they don't know how to push back right now. I don't think they have any clear answers or what they're going to do, but they're making it very tough right now to stay a World of Outlaw driver.
Yep.
But again, PRI could change everything.
It can.
Because that's when they'll announce, the contingencies and, this is how much it's going to be an outlaw driver next year, and this is what is guaranteed, and this is what we're going to do. But again, I see majority rule to the high limits. They have a lot going on, and they have a lot of big stuff coming up next year.
Yep. Yeah. The World of Outlaws still has the shows at Knoxville. That'll pull in some there for that side. It's just kind of one of those things. Where does everybody land? How do they, make it valuable to the teams to go run the series? And, it's sometimes you don't see where the Outlaws run this here and then, Kubota or the High Limit Series run here. So it's kind of, you kind of split, that there. I mean, Knoxville and, Eldora run unsanctioned really for their big races. So, the Kings Royal and Knoxville Nationals kind of is whoever wants to show up and run. So, it's going to be
it'll be weird.
Interesting.
I think it's going to be weird, interesting, all in the same thing. And then, I think the other big point to make right now is in the late model world is, again, what series is who going to what. I feel like in that, though, it's kind of starting to drift more towards the World Outlaws.
Yeah. I mean, it's,
Lucas Oil has had a lot of issues.
Those two, series, they do pretty well at scheduling their races around each other. So if you want to float between the two series, you can. But if you're going to run your points, you can go run your points. So, I think those two have done a great job. Those two series have done a great job of balancing. And maybe we'll see that with Kubota and the World of Outlaws to where, maybe we don't run so much against one another as we try to, hey, if you want to go run this series, you can. If you want to go run that series, you can. But these races, we can come together and still go put on great races at, at the premier events across the country.
Absolutely. Again, it's just going to be very interesting. I feel like Lucas Oil was kind of put under a spotlight this year with teching. They had a lot of issues.
Yeah.
A lot of tire issues as well.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what's going to happen to them. It's weird. It's like reverse of everything we kind of knew. Everyone for a while was going, Lucas Oil late model racing, but now the World Outlaws are taking that over. But then it's almost like they let their guard down on the sprint car side, and now the high limits have taken over that. Yeah. So, there's a lot going on right now in the sport. And then it's going to be interesting to see, IMCA with their rule changes and whatnot. What's going to happen there? Are you going to have more unsanctioned tracks? I think it could be a thing. I think it's a big conversation that a lot of tracks are looking at right now is what do we do next year for rule packages, and it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's going to always be interesting. As I think, predominantly, the IMCA tracks pull in a little bit more cars.
They do.
Because it's always nice, I would say the IMCA is still the, grassroots level racing, and it's always kind of nice to pull in there and know that we should all be somewhat the same. Not that, there's never a little gray area going on in the rule book, but, at least you're not, going there and, for myself, an example, I remember we went over, like right when the USMTS was starting out over at Knoxville, and we went over there with our IMCA motors in there, and we were rolling through tech, and we had, double hump heads on our motor, and the USMTS tech said, heck, we haven't seen double hump heads for like 2 years.
It's like bringing a crate to an open motor fight. Yeah.
And, and they were like, yeah, come on in and race with us. The rules are pretty fair, and not even.
Yeah, no.
And so,
Nope.
Everybody wants a chance. Sanctioned, unsanctioned, I mean, that's, the track's choice. But, I think that, the tracks that are getting their a little bit stronger car counts are the ones that are staying sanctioned. And, and what about stock cars? I mean, man, stock car races have just been phenomenal. I mean,
they have been. And, talking about that, it brings up something I wanted to talk about is the XR Dirt Racing Series. I don't know how up to times you are with everything going on there. But, man, they have put themselves in some hot water. Barry and those guys, I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know who came up with their marketing schemes, but someone needs to hire them because they have yet to pay out over $100,000 promised to winners of races. Yeah. They have yet to pay out, but yet somehow people keep going and racing their events. I would like to know how and why and who is making the calls on this, because if I wasn't getting paid from races, I definitely wouldn't. And we've seen a few drivers like Taylor Payton speak their mind about that, but over $100,000 in missing money to winners of XR Dirt Series events.
Yeah, that's a little sketch.
That's a lot of money, folks. I don't know if you realize that. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and especially to those teams. I mean, that's how they're planning to keep rigs going up and down the road, and tires on your car and fuel in your car.
I mean, you hear stories back in the days about promoters, going into the ticket office and taking the money and then hightailing it before the feature's over and whatnot. But over $100,000 today. I mean, this is bad.
Yeah.
And I don't. I have a feeling the XR Dirt Series, we're not going to be seeing much from them here soon.
Right.
Boy. And, kudos to the people that made it public.
Right.
Because I knew for a while that there were issues, and me being me decided to go ahead and say my piece on one of their Facebook posts, and then immediately someone tried to call me out, and then 2 weeks later the facts get brought out like, hey, I haven't gotten paid yet. It's like, hey, that's kind of a big deal, huh?
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's a big deal in racing. I mean, that's what you're always rolling money, and
especially now. I mean, you're talking a stock car costing $30,000-$40,000, and you go and you buy a brand new car, you put a new mid-states in it, and that sets you back $15,000, and tires and crew guy and gas to go to one of those races, and then you win $100,000, and you're like, sweet, I won $100,000. Here's my big check to prove it, and then you go to take the one to the bank, and it ain't there.
Yeah. I mean, actually, today on the internet, I seen where, I don't know which car. I mean, there was a stock car and a modified, both driven by Ricky Thornton Jr. somewhere, and it was $75K a piece. So, I mean, so
there you have it. Yeah, isn't it crazy? But I mean, as a promoter, wouldn't you think, hey, I'm running a huge racing series that I had an East Series, a West Series. We're going to pay $100,000 to Sport Compacts running at Kokomo for some godforsaken reason. And it's like, we're also going to pay $100,000 stock car race, and then we're not going to pay anyone their money. This sounds like a great idea.
Great idea.
Because we want people to come race with us again.
Yeah, it's
I tell you what, Peyton Taylor probably has a headhunting crew for Barry and them, and if I were Barry, I would definitely, I don't know, maybe he'll go to Jamaica right now or something. I mean, he definitely probably should be far away from anyone around here, because you can't get away with that nowadays.
No, you can't.
And I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of backlash, and again, I don't think we're going to really see any more XR races. I'm waiting to see the post for next year about their most ridiculous thing they're going to come up with. I'm sure they're going to say, we're going to run a race reverse at Marshalltown, and you're going to go the opposite way for 50 laps, and the winner gets $200,000. I can see them doing something stupid like that now, and then no one's going to get paid their $200,000.
Sure, yeah.
But then you looked at the payouts across the rest of those races, and it's like, why would you even go?
Yeah.
You're paying like $10,000 for second.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
I don't know. It's man, there is some shady stuff going on in the racing world, and it's starting to uncover. And boy, it's sad. It really is. It's sad, honestly. I mean, I understand the technology in these cars are changing, and it's great, and the innovation's there, and we're probably at some of the best it's ever been for, car builders, and you're not seeing a lot of these horrible accidents like we used to, and people getting severely hurt, which is great. But my goodness, $75,000 for a car?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it said on there. I mean, it had a Mullins engine, and the car,
I would hope it would have a Mullins for that price.
And so, yeah, it was, they're getting right up there, and
this is the world we live in. This is the world we live in, and you can go and buy a 1RC car and come race with us at the mall or my place for like $250.
Right.
And man, that's a lot. That's cheaper than a Hoosier almost nowadays, which is sad. I remember selling Hoosiers for $99, and then I remember they went to like $102, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're over $100. But now it's like we're breaking $200 almost.
Yeah,
it's bad. It's bad.
It's bad. Yeah, I think when I got out, tires were like right around 89, and I thought that was high because when we first got into racing, they were like $60 because they were cheaper than street tires, and and then they
by how the tides have turned. So anyway, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back talking about some things that you and I have going on, and then we'll talk a little NASCAR here in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Skunk River Radio, country music from 1990 through 2010 with some Iowa country music sprinkled in. Listen at skunkriverradio.com, download the app, listen on Alexa by saying, Alexa, play Skunk River Radio on TuneIn. You can listen to me, Steve Shetler, each weekday morning from 6 a.m. to noon, and listen to The Haze from noon to 6 p.m. Skunk River Radio, online radio for country music from 1990 to 2010.
At Nutrien Ag Solutions, we are dedicated to your success. We partner with growers like you to expand your possibilities with unparalleled offerings. Your unique challenges are met with more customized solutions than anyone else can offer. With you, we're feeding the future together.
Stop by James Family Greenhouse and Produce in Sigourney. They have a variety of hanging baskets, annuals, shrubs, perennials, trees, mulch, and vegetable plants. Plus, you can spruce up your landscape with yard decor or decorate the inside of your home with home decor. James Family Greenhouse is also a great place to stop in for some gift ideas. You gotta stop in and see it all for yourself. James Family Greenhouse at 701 East Jackson in Sigourney. And be sure to follow their page on Facebook. If you've had a run-in with a deer, a fender bender, or any sort of accident with your vehicle, take it to Tony and the guys at Sigourney Body Shop at 210 West Clark Street in Sigourney. They'll get you back on the road in no time, and Tony will help you out with a free estimate. It's service with a smile at Sigourney Body Shop. Give them a call at 641-622-2022, or again, stop in at 210 West Clark Street in Sigourney. And we're back for our final segment here on Tuesday Night Tune-Up from the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch. We also thank such sponsors as Sigourney Motors, Copeland Auto Body, also Nutrien Ag Solutions in Keswick, Sinclair Napa, Skunk River Radio, James Family Greenhouse, and Sigourney Body Shop. All these sponsors on board all year long. And again, let's go back to Safe and Gordy, guys.
Welcome back, race fans, to TNT, the Tuesday Night Tune-Up, and it's time to talk about restrictor plate racing.
Ooh, yay.
Ooh, yay. Yay, NASCAR, the great, wonderful, mighty Wizards have gone and they have conquered Martinsville, the only race all year that is worth watching any laps on, I think.
Yeah, that one and
maybe Bristol.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking cars that potentially could have 1,000 horsepower running with 750 or less because, hey, why not? let's just do that. Let's just make them glorified, Formula One cars to a degree. But, NASCAR ran at Martinsville and actually had a pretty decent race going on there. I got to catch the last 130 laps, which was probably the only good laps to really watch there, it seemed like. So a lot of yellows for a bunch of unnecessary reasons, it seemed, as course par for the usual. We had William Byron coming away with a win, had a really nice move there on Ryan Blaney to get around him, as either of them, they won, they were going to advance, and the other one wasn't. So, they started getting into lap traffic, and William took a shot to go down underneath of Blaney and was there, and they bumped and rubbed a little going into 3 and 4, and Byron just drove on around him and then didn't look back the rest of the race.
Yeah, and this year here, no Chastain lap.
Yeah, no Hail Melon laps.
Yeah, Hail Melon laps.
No Hail Mary.
Who was it? Bell did that the year before.
He tried that the year before. No more of that.
And, so,
and actually, Bell there was battling with Kyle Larson. They were, just a few spots away from each other there for the longest time, looking to advance into the top 4 playoffs. And Bell tried a different pit strategy and ended up, costing them, their chance in the playoffs. So Kyle Larson did advance on to the Final Four to go to Phoenix, this coming weekend.
Yeah.
What a snoozer that'll be.
Yeah, Kyle, then Denny.
Kyle, Denny, Byron,
and then Briscoe.
Yeah,
Chase Briscoe. So
200 cars.
Joe Gibbs. Yeah.
And
2 Joe Gibbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and 200 cars.
Yeah.
Yay. Just the way NASCAR wants it.
Yeah, the top 2 biggest teams. Good job, NASCAR. Good job, script writers there.
Right.
They had that one planned out real well.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't know. Just NASCAR's getting silly. Again, next year they're going to go to San Francisco and run on the military base during okay. Here's my 2 cents on that again real quick. If you missed it last time, great. They're supporting the military on the 4th of July. That's great. Independence Day, I get it. I love it, whatever. Here's where I have the problem, though. They could do the same thing at Charlotte like they have done forever, where it ends up usually being one of the best races of the whole year, but they again decide they want to go race on streets and road racing, and I don't understand who is coming up with these ideas, but it's horrible. Just ditch the road racing. Leave that to IndyCar, Formula One, whatever other 24-hour Le Mans, any other series, but why do they do it? I mean, it's like they're becoming Euro NASCAR.
Yeah.
They have the European series, which also sucks. But it's like, yeah, we're just going to make them all equal. We're just going to do the same thing across the board to everyone.
Yeah. Well, for us, real old school NASCAR people, I mean, it was always the Firecracker 400
right.
at Daytona.
Yeah,
and,
that too, yes. And then they moved that to Charlotte, which was fine because Charlotte was a great track, is a good track still. They could go to North Wilkesboro.
Yeah.
They could go to Kern, Kevin Harvick's track. Honestly, that would be pretty cool for the 4th of July. But instead, we're just going to go road course racing. And again,
I've heard it's near a Air Force base, so maybe
it is. They're supposed to go through part of it or something, and then everyone's like, "I'd be cool." They went on an aircraft carrier, which is like that's not going to happen. They're going to go next to one, but whatever. But I don't know. It's just getting. I don't know.
Maybe Victory Lane on the aircraft carrier would be.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, like Tom Cruise style. And they have Yeah, well, I don't know. It's just getting ridiculous. I am so sick of NASCAR. There's so many better racing series to watch than that.
Yeah,
it's getting bad. I don't know. Maybe they'll do something interesting that actually could get people back to watching it, but road racing and street racing isn't going to do it.
Right.
I don't care who you are. You're not Fast and the Furious, so.
No. In the state of dirt racing is probably better than we've probably really ever seen it over the years, and I think it's just where all the NASCAR people have went to kind of go get their racing fix and going back in and watching
Kyle
dirt.
Larson.
Yeah,
look at him.
Yeah,
Christopher Bell. I don't know. I'm just getting sick of NASCAR. Maybe they'll shut down. That'd be great.
Right.
I'd be okay with that at this point.
Yeah. I mean, I think they're too big to shut
They
down.
are,
But I think they need to get.
They
back
struggle
to their
so
roots.
hard, and you look in the stands, and they have to put up those huge banners across half of the grandstands now because no one wants to go to an event.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Right.
I really wonder why. And then there's talk of them going back to Mexico again next year, and no, it's getting silly.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll go to Argentina or something.
Yeah. Take your own water.
Take your own. Yeah. They're gonna bring their own truck just full of water. Each team gets their own water truck.
Yeah.
Have Bobby Boucher down there handing water out to all of them.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty great. No, so NASCAR again. Good job to them. Good job. A boring Phoenix race to follow here. So we'll see. I'd rather watch the World
Phoenix
Finals.
is usually decent.
It can be.
And it's going to be kind of interesting because in the last
It'll probably be a non points car, top 4 car that will win.
Yeah.
It'll probably be someone else, and then it'll come down to pit strategies in the last segment here, and it'll be stupid. I'm not excited. I won't watch it. I'll watch the World Finals instead. But Saturday we have something big coming up. We have our awards banquet for our summer series at the barn.
Yep.
So we have that. And we had some really good points battles.
Yeah, I mean,
that literally got decided
the last day.
At the last day.
And we got the awards banquet coming up. Plaques for the top 3 in the classes that we had out there, and we're just gonna throw some races together and have some fun, have some pizza there, and do some awards, and get on down the road, and then. Following week we'll be starting here in the mall, so November 8th is
that's crazy.
Our first race up here in the mall, so head up here and check that out if you need your wintertime racing fix, and see PCRC Speedway on Facebook and keep up with all the current events and stuff like that. Kind of hard to plan all the races around the Thanksgiving and the holidays in there, but as soon as we get through that, it's pretty full bore up until March. So
yeah, absolutely. And the cool thing is, again, we're going to have 2 tracks to go to at the mall and out at the barn. So it'll be awesome having 2 tracks to run at besides just one. Gives guys a chance to race more than what we've ever had before. It's a larger schedule. Twice the amount of racing. So. It's a very exciting time to be in 1RC racing around here because it's new, and we're going to keep growing this and making it bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, and entry fees are cheap. I mean, you can bring your whole family and race for $20 cheaper than going to a movie, and and it's a fun-filled event. I mean, tires last all season. Typically, so they're pretty cheap, racing, and come in here and learn how to get going. And, then we'll be preparing in there for, next summer, kind of, as we get through the year, we'll get probably another, Sunday summer series together. Maybe start a little earlier in the afternoon this next time, try to get done just a bit sooner, get people home just a little bit sooner. Big things to come. So, switching the page, RC racing is, really strong in the area. We got Lighton, we got, Cedar Rapids up there in Palo, and then there's a racetrack. I've never been there, in Webster City. They get a full, Adel has a Sindit Speedway up in Adel, right there at the fairgrounds. Get good turnout. So, RC racing is strong in the area. There's a few areas to go do your indoor stuff through the winter to go racing at. There's actually a big RC Chili Bowl that's right next door to the big Chili Bowl. So
and it's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
It's a really big deal.
It's a 2-week event. They start the first week with more spec classes. Then they roll into the next week to where it's more open classes.
And you've been there.
I've been there. We went down twice. The past couple seasons, we haven't. It just, It takes a lot of PTO or vacation, for us to go. So we got to time it right, when we can go down. But definitely look to go back. It's fun. People look at us and say, "Man, how can it be any fun to go down and sit in a great big horse arena and race RC cars all week?" And but you're just close enough to the racing action, over at the where the Chili Bowl Nationals are going, and just a good time to go down there. Weather's a little warmer down there. It's usually mid-50s down there instead of zero or negative weather down here. So why not go down there and do that? And
exactly.
There's lots of things. We're always looking at how do we continue to grow the sport here with different events in the winter. And someday we would like to get a either a dirt or a super official carpet track in a little bigger building to where we could run the 10th scale stuff. But right now, just nothing's available for us to go out and find right now. So
we'll get there.
We'll get there.
No, but a very exciting time. So again, basically again, the racing season's coming down to an end here. World Nationals coming up here. This coming weekend through next week, and then Phoenix, last NASCAR race of the year coming up this week as well. So again, it's been a great racing year. There's been so much stuff happening. Silly season has been sillier than ever. High limits really have ramped it up, and they're just putting their foot down and leaving the World Racing Group in their rearview mirror. And again, next year's it's going to be crazy.
Yep.
We're going to see a lot of big changes this winter, and
changes.
Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah,
because I really don't know yet. It's going to be a interesting winter.
Sure, and now you get through the World Finals, you take a few weeks off, you get PRI show. Well, there's always the Turkey Day Grand Prix out in California. Then you roll into PRI show. Then you roll into
Australia, New Zealand
Dirt Nationals, the Gateway Dirt Nationals, which I heard that's all sold out except for the very, very top row. So great.
No 3-day passes.
No 3-day passes. So
there goes my chance of going back this year. I went last year.
It's great to just see that grow, and who would have ever thought that racing late models and modifieds on an indoor track in St. Louis, Missouri would bring that much.
I know by firsthand experience. It's awesome.
Flow does a great job of televising it. So if you're not a member of Flow, now's a good time to get your membership there to it and get to watch all these races.
Another thing that's more worth it than Dirt Vision right there.
Honestly, I spend the 2 weeks at Christmas is kind of my shutdown time. We don't have to really go to work for a couple weeks, and I sit down and watch the micros from Tulsa like all week long. From 8 a.m. to midnight, you can just sit there and watch.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy.
And,
all of it's nuts. What Flow does is great. Again, they did better than Dirt Vision, which wasn't taking much. World Racing Group, top notch there, guys. You guys are definitely getting left behind here, and boy, a lot of big things coming, I think, for Flow and High Limits and Lucas Oil. So again, it's been a great racing year. We look forward to next year. Again, we want to thank everyone that helped make TNT possible. We want to thank Steve Shetler with Steve Shetler Media / Skunk River Radio, Neil for coming and helping. And real quick shout out to Steve. Heard you guys have been doing really good on the football broadcasting side of things. You guys always have a great crew with that. And, I think you guys are in playoff season now. Am I wrong, Steve? Like peaking and
it's
whatnot?
Still a playoff season.
Is it?
Yes, we're into football. Yeah, we're in the playoffs.
Okay.
Second round coming up on Friday.
And are you guys going to have the live broadcast of that again?
Well, heck yeah.
Okay, good. Again, we've heard you guys have had just stellar broadcasts and that, so kudos to you and the rest of your team that make that happen. So, again, thank you for Tuesday Night Tune-Up, Steve, and letting me come on here and talk about racing with people all year. Again, we want to thank the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch, our host venue. They let us come in here, and the last few weeks we've invaded the whole front section of Pizza Ranch. Normally they give us a room, but they've been gracious to let us have the whole front room here to do our show. So we want to thank the Oskaloosa Pizza Ranch again for everything they've done. Just amazing. And then they let us come in here and again just take this whole area, and then they let us eat food as well. So thank you for feeding us each and every week to the whole Pizza Ranch crew. See Tricia and the whole team over there. So we want to thank them again. And again, we want to thank all of our sponsors as well. Nutrient Ag out of Keswick, Copeland Auto Bodies, Sigourney Body Shop, Sigourney Motors, just a lot of other great sponsors as well. I know I'm missing a few, but it's just phenomenal to have all these great people around us to help us do the show each and every week. It means a lot to us. So, and thank you all again for joining us on TNT, the Tuesday Night Tune-Up. I've been your host, Safe Grafke. That's Gordy Grubb, and we will see you guys all next year with TNT, the Tuesday Night Tune-Up.
And yes, we do thank Oski Pizza Ranch. We thank Sigourney Motors, Copeland Auto Body, Sinclair Napa, Skunk River Radio, Nutrient Ag Solutions, James Family Greenhouse, and Sigourney Body Shop.